Welcome back to my channel. This is Aso Tarot, and in today's pick a card reading we are going to be looking at predictions and advice for July 2022. So what we're going to do is look at an overview of the month, and then we'll go deeper into specifics, and then we will be pulling charms to see if there's any specific messages, symbols, people, or anything else that wants to come through about the upcoming month, and then we will finish off with advice. So pretty juicy reading for a monthly reading, I must say, making up for last month. But if you didn't see last month's predictions, that is because it is on my Instagram. Feel free to check that out if you want. But we have 3 different piles to choose from today, starting with pile 1's deck of oracle cards. We have a piece of Vanadinite, something like that. We have a piece of that on the first deck of cards. I'll have the correct spelling linked below. Then for pile 2, we have the second deck of oracle cards, as well as this huge hunk of Pyrite. And then finally for pile 3, we have the last set of oracle cards, as well as this piece of Afghanite on top of it. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It's absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one, though I'd say it's highly likely you're probably only going to be in one pile. But if you're drawn to more than one, it's quite possible you could have messages in multiple. So just take what resonates and do not let the rest take from you. With that being said, as well, as I burp, just remember that the future is never set in stone. Do not allow what is said here to discourage you for the upcoming month. I mean, I don't know what's going to be in here because I haven't done the reading yet, but you know, that can happen sometimes. But just know I will do my best to help you be prepared and hopefully look forward to the upcoming month. So once you have picked your pile or piles, you can go ahead and scroll down to the description box or the comment section, where I will have all the timestamps listed below. And then once you've picked your pile or piles, I will see you in your reading. Hi there, pile 1. If you guys chose the red stone that is hard to pronounce, this is going to be your reading on predictions and advice for July 2022. Got to get my brain wrapped around that. So let's go ahead and start by looking at your overall month. So to start, we have Salmon, we have Divine Timing, we have Starry Canyon, Look for the Light in the Dark, Optimism, Hope, Inspiration. We have 111. Angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe a life that you love. I am creative, love that. And finally, we have Volcano. This is a really beautiful energy. I'm already really excited for this pile, because I feel like no matter what you're going through right now, this month is going to be a huge confirmation. Well, not just one confirmation, just this month in general is going to be a series of confirmations for you, because what I see you doing is, and you've likely already started this, you're going to continue to follow your intuition even when it doesn't necessarily make sense. You know, salmon, they swim upstream and they're very intuitive in terms of just like, you know, what they have to do as a salmon, you know, dealing with their young and shit like that. I feel like you've been starting to listen to what your body is trying to tell you and what your inner self is trying to tell you, rather than looking externally for guidance, and it's benefiting you greatly. If you've made a giant leap towards something that really matters towards you, or you're taking steps towards a huge goal, you're going to see things aligning this month in a favorable direction, even if it is challenging. So with the Salmon card here, I do feel like a lot of you maybe feel a lot of fear when it comes to making these decisions or going in this direction, but you're pushing through anyway. And your guides are applauding you. Your guides are so impressed by you and impressed by what you're doing. And I think you're going to be getting a lot of synchronicities related to this journey that you've been on, especially with ones, 11, 11, 11, 111. That seems to be a very popular number for you. I do feel like in terms of what you're working towards, you may not see huge results this month, but there's an important message here when it comes to the action you choose to take this month, because I talk about this a lot when it comes to divine timing. Divine timing is not a date on the calendar. It is created in the present moment by our actions or lack thereof. So your guides really want you to be aware of how you're using your time this month. Now, that doesn't mean that you completely disregard your own needs, your own health in order to push through and get goals done. But it does, because that's not healthy and that's not productive, and ultimately you will just end up burning yourself out and holding yourself back in the long run. But Spirit is encouraging you to not look at the finish line of this goal and trust that taking slow incremental steps will get you exactly where you need to be. I think that you're being heavily encouraged as well to focus on balance this month in terms of how you can fill up your own cup, especially when it comes to motivation to keep going forward. Whatever goals you have in place right now, I do feel like energetically, it may feel like things, I'm literally hearing like the tide is pushing against you, which obviously I don't think you live in the ocean, but if you did, that's probably what it would feel like. So maybe more of an energetic tide, if you will. And it may not be anyone explicitly discouraging you. It may not be any actual blockages. I think that the biggest thing working against you may be fear, and maybe anxiousness around if this goal is achievable. It is. If this goal is too lofty, it's not. But depending on how big it is, it may take time to fully manifest. But the biggest thing that will help you push forward is, one, looking on the bright side of things, being optimistic about your goals. You know, don't think about what if I fail, think about what if I succeed. And also, any failures you do encounter will help you learn so that you can be more successful in the future, but that's not the point. What you really want to keep following is the reason why you started this goal, or the reason why you started heading in this direction, because it may not be a goal for some of you. It could be maybe you're taking steps to move somewhere. Maybe you did just move to a new spot. Maybe for some of you, you are pursuing something new, or pursuing something that you don't quite understand. No matter what the case may be, it does, to you at least, feel like the odds are against you. I don't think that's necessarily the case. That might be a mental barrier more than anything. And so I think when it comes to this month, the universe is really going to encourage you to re-inspire yourself as to why you started this journey of yours, whatever it may be. But if you haven't started yet, this is the month where you actually choose to get started, or you push it off another month. Because what I'm seeing here is eventually you're going to be so full of optimism, inspiration, hope towards whatever this goal is, you're not going to be able to contain it anymore. The salmon also talks about following your true path rather than the path laid out for you. So I feel like no matter what is happening this month, you're deeply connecting with your intuition. I mean, look at how much purple we have here. And I think that you are feeling the divine encouragement that you need to keep moving forward, or you are so full of optimism, hope, inspiration around this path that you have no choice but to go after it now. And the universe is encouraging you to be creative when it comes to how you go about accomplishing these goals, or how you go about walking this path. Your path doesn't have to look like someone else's, and you're really being encouraged to not look at how others have done it. I think you're being encouraged to ask yourself how you can best meet your needs as you follow this path, and what ways are going to work best for you. Kind of in a similar way of like how we all learn differently, and we have different modalities that are stronger and weaker. The universe is asking you not to look at how someone else has done this path and follow them. Instead, start on your own, and then for some of you, if you haven't started yet, or continue to keep doing things your way, And then once you find that there are limitations that you feel like could be solved, that maybe someone else has the answers to, that's when I would look up other people. Maybe not literally, but just like on YouTube or something that have followed this similar life path. And then you might get helpful advice to tweak your routine, but it won't influence you to do someone else's routine that's not necessarily going to work for you, if that makes sense. But I also feel like this might be an emotional month for you, in the sense, not in a bad way, but in a good way, because I think you're going to be realizing just how much the divine is on your side here. I think you're going to be getting lots of synchronicities, confirmations about the things that you're working on or the things you want to work on. I think you're going to be getting lots of encouragement. You might even be meeting people who are following a similar path to yours, or just going against the grain like you are. I think that's the common theme here, is no matter who you are, what your goal is, or how this pertains to you, you're all literally taking a road less traveled or swimming upstream like a salmon. So salmon's your power animal this month. But I definitely think that you're going to be continuously redirected to what inspires you, to the deeper truths of your heart. And I think you're just going to be feeling encouraged along the way. A lot of how this month turns out is based upon your action. We'll go deeper in a second, but I do think that if you've been wanting to make this change, I think that this might be the month where you finally take action, because it seems like with this volcano card here, you can't hold it in anymore. And it might be quite possible that you experience people that suppress you or that don't encourage you, and I feel like you're gonna almost use that as ammo to keep moving forward. I feel like you're just heading in this direction of being your authentic self, and it's a really beautiful direction to be in. And I think as you do that, you're just going to continue to feel more and more nourished and fulfilled, because you're truly seeing yourself. So let's go ahead and get deeper now and get some specifics. Oh, we'll shuffle you next. I'm really excited by this energy, so I'm excited to see what comes up in the more specific parts here. So we are essentially just going to look at the different sections of your life. We're going to do relationships. This can be friends, family, love. Then we're going to do work, life, personal development, and then we'll finish off with external energy that's out of your control that you need to be aware of. So let's see, Spirit, for this upcoming month, what will pile one's relationships be like? Okay. And what about pile one's work, school, life? What about pile one's personal development? Finally, pile one's external environment. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the Hide Tarot, and I'll just pull one more card for each of these. I should check, actually. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to put those up a little bit just so that you guys can see them. All right. I did also want to mention while I'm shuffling, very happy birthday. I wanted to wish a very happy birthday to all of my Cancers and Leos that have birthdays in the month of July. I can't remember if I already said that. I may have said that already, so sorry if I did, but you know, more the merrier, right? Okay, so Spirit, pile one's relationships in this upcoming month. What can they expect, right? What about their work, school, life? What about their personal development? Finally, their external surroundings. Okay. Well, alrighty. Let's go ahead and start by looking at your relationships. So to start, we have presence, acknowledgement, mindfulness, openness. And we have the Doe with 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So I can definitely see here that this might be a more solitary month for you, even if you do have a partner. The reason why I'm seeing that is because you're showing up as the Nine of Pentacles. So for some of you, you may be a little bit more withdrawn because you're just really focused on whatever it is that you're working on or whatever this path is. I see you being very independent, but still acknowledging the people in your life that you care about. Like, I don't see you going into a full-on hermit mode, but I do feel like you'll be taking more time to yourself and focusing more on you. However, I do see that you're going to be, like, when you are present with people, I think you are going to just be very present with them, but maybe a little withdrawn in the sense that you may have things that you're not ready to talk about yet. So with the Doe card being here, you might be easily spooked if people start bringing up certain things about you that maybe you don't want to talk about yet. I want to look at this card a little bit more. But yeah, with the Air card, I feel like you might be keeping in touch with people more so, like online and things like that. You may be spending more time by yourself. Like even in this card, you know, she's completely isolated on this boat. And I do feel like you're going to kind of be lost in your own creative juices, in your own world. And so I think that you may have to remind yourself, like, if people are looking to hear from you or counting on you, you may have to remember to show up or to do that. So make sure you set reminders and things like that if you have like an important date or an important birthday or something like that. But I think more so than anything, you'll find that this is going to be a pretty easygoing month in terms of your relationships. I feel like the people closest to you are going to be either very accepting or very encouraging, hopefully both, of maybe the time and space that you need to work on yourself or work on whatever you're doing. And I feel like there's not going to be very many people trying to get your attention this month because it's going to seem like you're kind of hard to reach anyway. But I do think people... I just see, honestly, like I just see a very, not bland, but just very status quo, easygoing energy in your relationships this month, where it really does kind of feel like the biggest relationship you're working on right now is with yourself. So let's go ahead and look at your career and or school, whatever it is that you do with your time. We have Earth Mother, grounding, rewilding, and nourishment. And we have Starfish, Two of Pentacles. So you may be very, very busy this month in terms of what it is that you're doing or working on. With the Two of Pentacles here, I definitely see this as trying to find your balance. For some of you, you may be in a transition phase where like maybe you just put your 2 weeks in, or you're planning on doing that, or you're going part-time at one job so that you can start this project. No matter what, I feel like you have two main things that you have to work on. One seems to be things that you're closing out, but if there aren't things that you're closing out, then I would say they have to relate to like maintenance in your everyday life. Like for example, if you have a car, like making sure that the car's got the car stuff it needs to go. That's actually really sad. I should know more about cars, but I don't. You could need to deal with like repairs and things at home. Or if you're a parent, you know, you could have kids or family members that need you. No matter what the case is, I feel you being really tuned into your physical environment. And what I think is really cool, I actually love how this Salmon card almost completely matches this Earth Mother card. You really are taking the reins when it comes to your career, your school, your work life, whatever that may be. And I think that if you've been working on projects, I think you're going to start seeing the results in the physical this month, or you're going to make a plan to start grounding these projects into reality this month. And for some of you, if you've already started these projects and have already started grounding them, then I do see that you may start reaping rewards. I don't know if they'll be very huge, but they will be enough to get by. I think right now, I think the biggest thing that you need to know this month is that you will have enough and that you will be okay. And to not let your fear stop you from continuing to do this work. Because what I really see here is despite how much you may be working this month or what you may be working on, it seems like the work that you're doing is deeply nourishing, at least the work in terms of what you're passionate about, in terms of what is meant to be on your path or the path that you're following. What I really like here with this Earth Mother is that I think you're just going to be tending and nurturing to whatever it is that you're cultivating and creating, but also not allowing your needs to be neglected while you do this. So for example, if you're starting to work from home, I could see you like, I don't know, making your favorite meal while you get some work done, or putting a show on in the background while you do spreadsheets, like whatever it may be. I feel like you're multitasking a lot this month, but still finding time and space to nourish yourself and do what you need to do. So I feel like this is a good energy and a good vibe. You might feel like you're spread a little thin at times, but I think that honestly, the work for you doesn't even really feel like work. So I think it'll be more healing than anything. But let's go ahead and look at your personal life now. So we have self-inquiry, reflection, purpose, individuation, and the stone, 10 of Pentacles. So I just heard in my head, which I believe is a Vine or an old video of this guy going, "Duck, you're no good, duck. You're just like your father." And so that is a sign to me that this month, you are definitely going to be looking at how your family has shaped you in terms of following this new path. It's quite possible that family could have been very instrumental in either helping you along this journey in terms of encouraging you, or could have been instrumental in making you feel afraid to follow this new path. I think you're starting to recognize this month habits and patterns within yourself that you thought were maybe just part of your nature or just who you are, when in fact are just learned behaviors that you've attached to your identity. And I think you're also going to be seeing where certain members of your family have a blind spot, or certain people in your life have a blind spot when it comes to how their behavior affects others or how their behavior limits them. And I think you're going to be seeing that within yourself, how you've maybe taken some of that on, or taken certain habits on. And I think that you're going to be challenging them and recognizing that there is always another way of looking at things, another way of being. I feel like you're really zooming out of these systems and expectations and requirements that were handed to you as a child and expected of you as a child. And now you're looking at them and realizing that they're not necessarily set in stone if you don't want them to be. And in fact, there is so much more to you than I think you're realizing. And what I think is so cool with this self-inquiry, as you continue to follow what is your true purpose, the behaviors and limiting beliefs that you've obtained through your family, like even with this giant tree, like I feel like this is mainly to do with family. And it doesn't just have to be your immediate family. These could be like generational things as well. I feel like you're going to be realizing that you do have the power to break free of these certain cycles and traumas. With the 15, that's the same number as the Devil card in tarot. And I feel like you really are breaking free of things that have maybe held the people in your life back or held your ancestors back. You're doing a lot of generational healing this month. And I think as you're following this different path from everyone else, you'll be learning a lot about yourself and realizing that you're so much more complex than I think you give yourself credit for. And one thing I noticed with this stone is that it looks like there's some snowflake obsidian in this card. I don't know if you can see that, but I have some right here if you feel like that might be a useful stone to carry with you. I can't remember all of the uses off the top of my head, but obsidian's a very grounding stone, and I don't know, she's pretty. So if you want to look into that, or maybe get some that might be useful to you. So to finish off, I want to look at what is going to be happening in your external environment that's outside of your control, but the universe wants you to be aware of. And so this is the second time we have divine timing. Perseverance, cycles, divine timing. And we have the amber with the 4 of Wands. Wow, okay. So this is really interesting. the only thing that you really need to be aware of this month is the fact that you are on your own clock. I'm kind of freaked out by like how the sand timer and the fucking hourglass, because people get so mad at me when I say sand timer. I'm sounding defensive, but like seriously, I have been roasted for calling this a sand timer, and now the word hourglass carries trauma. I say only half jokingly. Anyway, I definitely think that you might see other people. You might feel a sense of FOMO, like especially if you're working a lot, you might see like your friends out and about, like doing fun things, or you might see people celebrating their goals and their accomplishments, and you might feel like a pang of envy, or you might feel like you're not good enough, or you might feel discouraged, like you're not far enough, and the universe is wanting you to take a step back and say, whoa. You're on your own plan. Do not compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. We all know this. So Spirit is really saying, do not compare your journey to anyone else's this month. You will have instances where that will be brought up. For example, maybe someone buys a new house, or gets a promotion, or graduates, or does something really exciting, something that you want to accomplish that maybe you haven't yet, or something that you hope to accomplish but you're not there yet. Even if it's not something you want to accomplish yourself, but you're just seeing people succeed, the universe is reminding you that just because that's not happening for you now doesn't mean it won't. And actually, what I like to do when it comes to seeing your peers succeed, and at times like maybe feeling like you're not good enough, I always remind myself that there's unlimited opportunities, and my success is someone else's success, and someone else's success is my success. So when I see other people in my life succeeding, I know that success is just around the corner for me. That might sound a little bit weird, but I mean it in the sense that we can all obtain success, and I think it's important to remember that just because yours isn't happening right now, or you're not where you want to be yet, doesn't mean that things aren't happening. It just takes time for things to grow. And what I actually really love is with this patience card here, we have this little teeny tiny bud of a plant, and then the Earth Mother, we have this giant blooming flower. And what I really think is being shown here is you're going to continue to bloom, but you can't rush this process. There's very important things you're healing and learning and doing as you go through this experience of living your life path and following your truth. And I think the universe just wants you to remember that honestly the hardest part for you is going to be allowing the universe to catch up with you, because you're doing an excellent job of co-creation in the sense that you're doing the physical work, you're grounding things into reality, you're following plans, things of that nature. I think the universe just wants you to remember that your time will come. And when you're feeling like you're not doing enough or you're not there yet, just remember that your time will come, and that abundance is your birthright. It is something that you always have access to. And anything in terms of other people's success or other people's fun, the Spirit is wanting to remind you that you will have yours as well. And that oftentimes that's just a mental game being played. So pay attention to your mindset, especially. And I notice that we have a lot of earth and air. So I do feel like in terms of what is going to be most important to work with this month, is going to be with your mind and your thoughts and with your external reality. I think that emotions and passion you'll have in spades. So really it's about focusing on the mental and the material world for you. So we're going to go ahead and switch gears now and get some charms for you guys, just to see what signs, synchronicities, messages, anything like that wants to come through. So I'm going to give this charm box a really good shake, and it's going to be loud. So if you have headphones in, I would suggest turning them down or skipping this part or whatever you need to do. So I'm going to shake this in 3, 2, 1. for transparency's sake, my eyes are closed. So pile 1, I almost said 2. Did anything fall? I'll grab that when I open my eyes. What is happening in the month of July 2022? Okay. All right, that's plenty. I'm gonna put the ones on the side here, over here, and the ones that I missed. Okay. So, where should we start? Okay. I want to start with the robot. So I think that this is signaling that you may have to deal with people's projections or unhealed wounds when it comes to interacting with others, like when they see you following your purpose. I feel like you may just have this greater awareness, even... I think, okay, if you've gone through a spiritual awakening recently or your level of spirituality has deepened, I think you're going to be aware this month of how many people are living life based upon a fear-based program. I also think you're going to be starting to view your mind as kind of a computer program that can be upgraded, that can uninstall certain programs, things like that. I think you're really going to be looking at your healing journey in a different way this month that is really beautiful, in the sense that I think you're going to be recognizing that there is comfort in the chaos that you're experiencing, and that you don't have to have all the answers, and that you're miles ahead of anyone who has zero awareness of the love and support that the universe has available to every single person. Because you can be open to it. But I think with this robot card as well, I think that if there's anything that you've been doing that just doesn't serve your soul, that you might be really focusing on cutting it out or lowering your responsibility towards those things as much as possible, because they just don't fill your soul anymore. We also have this gem, which to me kind of looks like a diamond, even though it's blue. And I always, because when I heard this gem pop out, I heard diamonds are formed under pressure. So I do feel like all this pressure that you've been through in your past has been developing you to the person you are now, which is allowing you to follow this true path of yours, and where you will continue to be formed into a diamond. But I think if people maybe treat you like you've gotten things easily, or you've gotten things sorry, I just got a bunch of messages about SpongeBob all at once. So I guess I'm going to talk about that. I was going to talk about this when we had the starfish, but I forgot. You may be feeling like in your work and career life this month, you know how Patrick Star is kind of a doof? I'm literally seeing right now that image of him holding a saw with like a piece of wood nailed to his head. You might be feeling that way a little bit in terms of your work, and I feel like Spirit is saying don't be discouraged by your beginner's mindset, and also don't say disparaging things like you're dumb or things like that, especially if you're learning something new. Like, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. And I also saw this pineapple, and that's what made me think of SpongeBob as well. So there might be important messages in SpongeBob, but I'm also just thinking about SpongeBob's attitude and how, like, you know, people shit on SpongeBob a lot and his good attitude because they're grumpy and, you know, they're not doing what makes them happy. You know, Squidward doesn't work at the Krusty Krab because he loves taking orders. You know, he works there, which honestly, I don't know how he, as a fast food worker, I don't know how he affords that giant house that is in the shape of him, but I don't understand undersea economics. But anyway, you know, he doesn't work there because he's passionate about it. He works there to pay the bills. Whereas SpongeBob works there because he loves Krabby Patties. He loves being a fry cook, and he wakes up every day happy because he loves his life and shit like that. And I think the more you follow this life path of yours, you're naturally going to be happier. You're going to feel lighter. And the universe, I feel like, is telling you that this month is an opportunity to not let other people dull your shine or dull your excitement. In fact, you know, you're meant to serve as an example of how happy one can be when they do follow what's right for them. Anyway, yeah, so you've got SpongeBob energy in that retrospect. And we also have this pink ring. And I feel like for this is about finding or continuing to cultivate unconditional love for yourself. I feel like this month you are really going to be self-focused, especially with that Nine of Pentacles coming out. And I think you're going to fall in love with yourself even more if you do it all. You might not at all right now, but that process is going to be kickstarted. Because I think once you start seeing how much you can do, or how much you can achieve, you're going to realize that achievement would never give you fulfillment anyway. And in fact, you were always worthy of love. You were always worthy of compassion before you even followed this path, before you even did anything. But I see you being more compassionate and kind towards yourself this month, which I think is really awesome. We also have the sun, moon, and star charm. I definitely feel like you're being encouraged. We have so many images of constellations and stars. I would check and see what transits are significant this upcoming month. If you've been thinking about booking an astrology reading, I would highly recommend K Moon. K as in the letter K and Moon. She's on YouTube and she's fabulous. But if you've been thinking about getting an astrology reading, that might be a sign to do so. But I think more than anything, pay attention, especially if you're ruled by the moon or you're affected by the moon. Pay attention to what sign and phase the moon is in. But also I feel like you're just being told that you're in alignment right now. Like you're following your divine plan and you're doing a great job. And with the moon card being here, Pisces or Cancer energy could be significant. But I feel like this is a deeper message that you are doing the right thing by following your intuition. And I think you're being encouraged to follow it further. We also have this little bear here. So I also think that you may take some opportunities to do some inner child healing this month, whether it's consuming nostalgic content like SpongeBob, or doing literal healing work, or spending time with kids, like maybe nieces or nephews, or if you have kids, just taking time to play and have fun, I think is going to be really healing for you as well. We also have the key here, so I definitely think that you're unlocking answers that you haven't had previously this month, and what they're about I think is going to differ for each of you, but Spirit is saying you're opening and unlocking doors that were previously closed to you. We also have the Princess charm here, so I feel like no matter what your gender identity is or your biological sex is, you are recognizing yourself as royal and as valuable of love, compassion, and worth. I would put this ring with the Princess card. We also have the Elephant here. So not only are you going to be gaining maturity this month, but I think you will be overcoming obstacles that have stood in your path. I also think with this teardrop coming down this way, because I'm hearing right now, like, No Tears Left to Cry by Ariana Grande. I feel like if you've been really struggling or really grieving something, that you're kind of healing that and not overcoming, but just releasing a lot of the things that were making you very emotional. We also have the squirrel here. So I feel like the seeds you've already planted are going to continue to grow. You might be quite busy this month, which we've already seen. And I think Spirit is saying, trust that, a tree starts out as an acorn. So if you are patient and allow things to cultivate over time, you will find that things can grow to be really gigantic and really wonderful. We also have the teacup here. So you could meet people for tea. I always see this as like you could hear some juicy tea about yourself or about yourself. That just came through. So, and it did come out this way. So you might find that people are maybe gossiping about you or saying things like talking behind your back. That might be something that you need to address, or it might just be something you completely ignore and laugh off because it's ridiculous. I think it depends on who it is, honestly. But you may also, I just heard of reconciliation. So if there's somebody that you've been having a disagreement with, you may meet up for coffee or tea or something like that to just kind of work things through. But I also see this as a reminder for self-care. So make sure you are caring for yourself. And we have this cross with the hearts. And I think that this for me is just a sign to keep following your heart. Keep following what you feel is true to you. Trust your angels, trust your gut, because you're being guided by unconditionally loving forces. We also have I love my cat. So I always see cats as very intuitive animals. So if you have a cat, you may be spending quality time with them, or you may be connecting with them this month. Maybe you're getting a cat this month. But for a lot of you with cats representing intuition, I feel like this could even be representing like your inner cat, in the sense that you're following your intuition, you're following what it's telling you. And I would say a cat is very Nine of Pentacles energy as well, like very independent, snooty. Well, not necessarily snooty, but like cats and dogs have much different energy, I guess, in that sense. And I feel like you're just going to be in your own lane, doing your own thing. And who knows, maybe your cat will bring you some important information or an important sign. We also have the Guitar here. So pay attention to songs this month. There may be some significant songs that come up as messages or synchronicities for you, but I could also see this guitar as being like, if you do something creative with music, this could be a good time to invest your energy into that. But I also see here as well, like for some reason, the guitar is making me think of like a band. So don't be afraid to ask for help if you need if you want to collaborate with someone or you need some extra hands. But yeah, pay attention to music for sure. There will be messages in there for you. But we also have ambitious with Capricorn and courageous with Aries. So Capricorn and Aries energy could be significant. You could have those. They're both cardinal energies. And I think whatever you're doing, it does require bravery and ambition. So I feel like this is a sign that you're going to be embodying those energies and qualities this month. But I also think there could be a significant Capricorn or Aries, or have those placements that could be helpful for you in terms of following your path, or just helpful to you in general. And let's see what else we have. So we have a 9 and a 7. Well, it's coming out. So a 6 or a 9 can be significant, or a 7 could be significant. So July 6th, July 9th could be significant. July 7th could be significant. We are going into the month of July. 97 could be significant. So could 79 or 67 or 76. Those could be dates that people were born. And finally, we have X. So I do think that there are things that you're letting go of this month. And I just heard this dumb pun that I think you're going to be extremely satisfied with yourself and your work by the end of the month. But yeah, the letter X could be significant as well. So those are the charms. Get a good look at them. I mean, I'm going to zoom this in anyway. But now that we've done charms, we're going to go ahead and finish this reading off by looking at your advice. So let me grab those. So to start, we have Nasturtium, victory and conquest. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still, by Lao Tzu. I think that this is exactly what you're doing. You're learning to master yourself, and you're learning to master your world, and that's making you hella nasturtium, my dude. Let's see. We also have find a sacred place in your home or anywhere you feel drawn to. Dedicate the space to finding comfort, safety, and prayer. Make this spot your altar or safe haven when times get tough, or as a daily connection. You guys got 2 of these. We also have remember that you have free will to create or be anything that you want to be. You can either use this for your benefit or your detriment. The world is your oyster and the possibilities are limitless. Spread your wings and fly. Yeah, I think that's literally what you're doing right now, and that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. And I would love to hear, if you want, comment down below like what you're working on. And if you want to encourage each other, please do that. I will say I love how kind our comment section is, and I really appreciate you guys for contributing to a positive comment section. We also have, I believe I am worthy of feeling good. That is your affirmation for the month. We also have inner child. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. And finally, we have surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So, pile 1, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel if you enjoy what I do. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video. You can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my social media, which will be linked below, as well as my merch. Though do be aware with my social media that there are lots of scammers pretending to be me. I do not offer personal readings, and I will not slide in your DMs offering you a private reading, because I don't offer them, and only scammers do that. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful month of July. I hope everything goes well, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 2. If you guys chose the big honkin' pyrite, this is going to be your reading on what is happening for July 2022. So we're going to go ahead and start by just looking at the overall month. So to start, we have ant, we have connection, we have field of flow, let go of expectations and control, release, freedom, surrender. We also have master number 22. You are in possession of incredible creative powers, and it is assured that you can achieve anything you wish. I am aligned. And finally, we have number 31 with cornucopia. Okay, this makes a lot of sense. I just hope I channel it in a fluent way. I definitely feel like I have a lot of workaholics that have joined me in this pile. But this doesn't necessarily have to be about work, but I want to start with the ant card here, because the ant card talks all about hard work, focus, determination, lofty goals. And I definitely feel like you're somebody who probably does focus on their goals, focus on success, focus on achievement, and that's a wonderful thing. But I feel like because that has been your disposition, it's hard to enjoy being present. And it's also hard to enjoy the fruits of your labor with this cornucopia card here. I also feel like, though, you could have been particularly focused on anything that's been really important to you, whether it's like a specific manifestation you've been wanting to align, whether it's getting contact from a specific person, whatever the case may be. It seems like you've been very focused on things that have been outside of your control. And in this month, you are releasing that, which is a wonderful thing. And maybe that's something you're already in the process of doing. But I think you're starting to realize that maybe you've been holding on too tightly to certain things that are preventing you from enjoying the moment. Like, for example, if you're focused on when is someone reaching out to me, you might have a hard time being present because your mind might be on them. Or if you're really focused on work, you might be missing out on fun experiences because even if you were going on them, you're too worried about what you need to get done. But it just kind of seems like there's a lot of healing and change this month when it comes to how you connect with yourself. The one thing that I'm noticing is both 22 and 31 reduced to 4 in numerology, not regular math. We don't do regular math here. And this 41 reduces to 5. So I definitely feel like you are cultivating a stable foundation this month that's allowing you to change your relationship with kind of your vices or the things that you're really focused on in life that maybe prevent you from feeling free and present in the moment. Like this woman in the picture, you know, she just feels really light and relaxed and free. And I think this month you're going to be realizing how much you've already cultivated for yourself and start to reap the fruits of your labor, in the sense that maybe you finally splurge and get yourself something that you've really wanted, or maybe you go out of your way to plan something for yourself or plan something for your family. I feel like no matter what the case may be, it's like you're finally utilizing this pot of gold you've been sitting on. But it doesn't seem like just a pot, it's like a whole pile of gold. And I feel like what you need to know this month is that there's nothing you need to do, no one you need to be. I mean, obviously we all have things to do and shit like that, but what I mean is in the sense of, in terms of your alignment, the only thing that is stopping you from being aligned this month is when you get stuck in a mindset of control, or stuck in a mindset of how is this going to happen, or stuck in a mindset of fear. This field of flow is the most important card possible, because that is what's going to keep you in alignment. In the sense that when you let go of expectations and control, release that and go with the flow, and trust that you can guide and navigate yourself based on your own connection with yourself and life, that's really all you need to do this month. Because with the Ant card here, if you notice, they're kind of going into a spiral. And I think the thing that the universe wants you to understand is that when you get really focused on these certain things in your life, whether they be your job, people, whatever it is, there's no end in sight in that. In fact, you can just ruminate yourself deeper, get focused even harder, to the point where you put yourself on the brink of burnout, or you quite literally do burn yourself out. Or you get angry, or you get frustrated, or you feel blocked, or you feel unsupported. And I think it's really cool that this Ant card is covered in red, whereas this field of flow is covered in purple and white, which would be the colors of the third eye and crown chakra, whereas red would be the color of the root chakra. And so I think you're being given the opportunity to zoom out this month and recognize how narrow your perspective was in certain cases, and recognize that focusing too hard on certain things isn't going to change or make something happen any faster. And so I think that that is giving you the freedom to find happiness in the now. Not only that, with this connection card, I feel like the relationships in your life are going to be very fulfilling this month. If you're in the talking stages with someone, I see you connecting more deeply with them. If you're in a relationship with someone, I can definitely see you both connecting on a deeper level. But I feel like this extends to all different types of connections with people. I think you're going to be feeling more connected with yourself. I think you're going to be feeling more connected to your higher self and your own spirituality. And I also think you're going to start making connections of how you're able to co-create with the universe, and the fact that we are all connected. Separation is a fallacy, and you're exactly where you need to be. A lot of this month and this month's energy is about recognizing what you already have in front of you, recognizing that you already do enough, and that there may be blessings that you are completely overlooking that are right in front of your face because you're too busy focusing on what's not going correctly, or what's not happening in the way that you want it to, or what's not done yet, or what's not happening. So you're really being encouraged to redirect your focus to what you can control and surrender to what you can't. And trust that your connection with the universe will be enough to guide you where you need to go, as well as your own intelligence and things like that. But the biggest thing that I see here is freedom from a constrictive mindset that has stopped you from enjoying the blessings that you already have, and that's stopping you from being open to the guidance that the universe has for you in the moment. Because when you're so focused on something that you're not making room to listen or forge a connection with yourself, you can't get information from yourself or from the universe. So I think that you are going to be putting more effort towards making a conscious connection with your own inner self and with the universe at large, which I think is really, really beautiful. And not only that, I think that you're just feeling freer and lighter this month, I think is really what it is. I think the more you realize that you've been carrying an unnecessary amount of weight and holding on to things that were never yours to carry in the first place, and recognizing that you can't control them anyway, and it's better to release them to the universe, I think you're gonna feel like you just let go of a 50-pound backpack. And I think that's really the only thing stopping you from being in alignment. So whenever you watch this, the more you can focus on surrendering and anchoring yourself and grounding yourself in the present moment and allowing yourself to have experiences and connect with your surroundings, connect with the people around you, instead of focusing on this one thing that's not right or these couple things that are wrong, I think you're going to be feeling a lot freer and recognizing how maybe silly it was that your brain was so intently focused on these certain aspects of life that were making you unhappy. So we're going to go ahead now and go deeper into the reading, and I'm just going to look at the month in sections. So, ouch. I'm fine. My pinky nail just hurts really badly because I hit it on something and I definitely broke the nail underneath it and it fucking hurts. So that's why I'm like trying to shuffle without my pinky in the way. Okay. So Spirit, what can Pile 2 expect this month when it comes to their relationships? Okay. So we're going to take that one. What does Pile 2 need to know that what's happening this month in terms of Pile 2's career, school, work life? Then what about Pile 2's personal development this month? And then finally, what is outside of Pile 2's control in their environment they need to be aware of? Okay. This will be a good section for you. All right, and then we are also using the Hide Tarot. This is a brand new deck that my lovely friend Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111 gifted to me. I'm very excited to be using it. I also, while I'm here, wanted to wish my July Cancers and Leos a very, very happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful month and a very fun birthday. I'm trying to make sure I say that because sometimes I do forget. Give this one more good shuffle. All right. So, Spirit, what can Pile 2 expect from their relationships in this upcoming month, please? Pile 2 expect from their relationships. Pile 3 about Pile 4. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with, well, let's start by fixing these. All right. So in terms of your relationships, this includes family, friends, love life. We have the unknown, void, quest, calling. And we have the fruit with the Queen of Pentacles. So I'm getting a couple of interpretations from this. You may be meeting someone new this month. They could be an earth sign or have feminine energy. For some of you, this is obviously a very specific message, and you will know who you are if that's the case, but the Queen of Pentacles is a mother card to me, and the unknown is obviously the unknown. So I wouldn't be shocked if you are pregnant or if you know somebody who's pregnant, whose due date is in July or the beginning of August. It is quite possible that they could be having the baby in July. So you could be watching a loved one become a parent or meeting a new, or if you're becoming a parent, which if you are, congratulations, you're meeting a new human. So that's really exciting. But this could also be just I'm getting like a couple of different things. With the Queen of Pentacles here as well, if you identify as being like the mom friend or the dad friend, you might find that in this month, a lot of people are coming to you with like really, really intense questions, like asking for advice where you feel like, I don't know if I am qualified to help with that. I also noticed that the unknown has the North Node in it. So I do feel like you could be meeting or interacting with people this month that are really important to your life's purpose. I would pay attention to what your North Node is in. So people with that sun sign or that rising sign, like maybe they could be significant. With the Queen of Pentacles here as well, I do feel like maybe a motherly figure to you could be very significant. Like maybe you're going on a trip with them, or maybe they're going to call in with some sort of offer or opportunity. And with the unknown here, I feel like it's kind of hard to interpret the unknown, because it's like, well, we don't know it yet. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, oh, and it says the fruit. So I do think that you could be given blessings from people in your family or from the people around you, maybe in return for work that you've done, or something like that. You may have a family member call you out of nowhere. I feel like it's a family member for sure. Maybe if you had a falling out with them or something like that, they may want to make peace. But with the unknown, I think that things are pretty up in the air. But in terms of the Queen of Pentacles, I do feel like there is somebody, either it's a motherly figure to you or a nurturing figure to you that you can rely on, that is there for advice if you need it. I feel like you need to know that there are people in your life that want to be supportive and help you. So whoever that person is to you, I would say is going to be that constant in this unknowing change and things like that. So let's see, what about, this is going to be career or school or whatever it is that you do with your time. So to start, we have awakening, unfolding, epiphany, release. And we have mushroom, the 5 of Cups. So this, first of all, has complete rejection is divine protection energy. But with this awakening, unfolding, epiphany, release, which that's the second time release is being here, this is what I felt originally. I definitely felt that a lot of the focus had to do with your job or your career. Maybe you've been in a place that's just like, maybe your career isn't working for you, or maybe you are struggling in school because you don't know what to study. Or maybe if you're really established in your career, you're realizing that it's not fulfilling you anymore. With the awakening card here, with the 5 of Cups, I do think you're recognizing how whatever it is that you're doing right now has been blocking you from seeing the beauty and the bounty that's in your life already. You know, in the typical 5 of Cups card, there's a guy in a trench coat looking down at 3 spilled glasses with 2 upright behind him. And I think that this, whatever is happening in your work or career life in this upcoming month, is helping you to look at things half full, to recognize what you do have. And I think you're also going to realize how this career, or for some of you, you could be hanging on by a thread. That was so funny. But anyway, you may be realizing that whatever you're doing isn't working for you, or you may be finding out what will work for you and heading towards that. And that might require, like, for example, maybe you're leaving your job this month and maybe you're really sad about it because you have connections that you made there, or it's bittersweet because you've learned a lot, but now it's time to go elsewhere or grow. But I do think you're having a huge realization about your purpose when it comes to what you want to do. And I also think that you are letting go of what's no longer serving you, whether that's taking action or recognizing what steps to take. That's going to help you feel more in touch with the moment. And I think you're going to realize this month, like, there's going to be this like snap moment of clarity where you're going to be like, wow, I really was putting unnecessary pressure on myself, or wow, I really was allowing this one area of my life to completely dominate it to the point where I didn't have my own autonomy or happiness. Whatever you're just having big realizations. And I think that if you've really been struggling in terms of school or work, I think something is changing in your favor, and there may be hard things to let go of or difficult conversations you might have to have, but once that is over, the freedom and peace and relief that you're going to feel is going to be so worth it. And I think you're going to have so much clarity of how whatever you were doing before, whatever you were super focused on wasn't aligned with you. And the only reason you can recognize that now is because you are in alignment in a way that you haven't been in the past with this. So yeah, for some of you, this could be a really toxic work environment. And I think that if you need someone to tell you to quit your job, quit your job. That's why I tell people, like, why I don't do career readings is because I'm like, I'm just going to tell you to quit your job. Also, I find them really boring and I hate labor. So, you know, that's just a me thing. But anyway, I definitely think there's going to be maybe some disappointment in the realization of how much you weren't seeing, or how much time you've wished away, or how much time you've lost by being so focused on these aspects of life. But I think the universe is really encouraging you to remember that you had to have those experiences for a reason, and that you can't change the past. And instead of grieving over what you didn't do, get excited about what you can do now and how you can embrace the future. So in terms of your personal development, we have the Alchemist, which I love to see. We also have another five here with Metamorphosis, Depth, Endurance. We also have Scorpio energy here and Pluto energy. Major self-transformation, and we have the Bell with Temperance, which I love because this card really wanted to come out. I wondered if it was going to come out. So we also have Sagittarius energy here as well. And this is a really beautiful combination to have because you are transforming in a very beautiful way. You're transforming and becoming the person that not only do you want to be and are aligned with, but I feel like the person that you're becoming, your past self would not even be able to recognize them. With the Temperance card being here, I definitely feel like you are integrating your light and your shadow, the things that you love about yourself and the things not so much. You know, in the typical Temperance card, there's like two glasses with water being kind of poured in between them. And so I think this month you're kind of doing a dance between the new parts of you and the old parts of you, and you're kind of seeing what's working and what's not. What do I need to integrate? What can I let go of? And not only that, you're learning so much about yourself in the process. With Scorpio energy, you're transforming at the deepest level, and with the Alchemist, you are literally learning how to become the best version of yourself. And I just heard Midas touch, which I think is really cool since you guys chose Pyrite, but I really do think this transformation that is occurring is also going to help you in terms of achieving like monetary abundance and things like that. But not only that, I think you're realizing why it's so important to endure through all your challenges, because this month you're going to be seeing on the other side of it in terms of like, okay, so I know why I had to go through XYZ, so it was so that I could learn ABC, things of that nature. I think it's going to be a bit emotional for you to see the person that you're becoming. And not only that, I think that one thing for you is you're really going to have to be patient with yourself. That's one thing I think about with Temperance. You know, if you think of a bell tower, obviously they typically go off every hour. So at 2 o'clock, you can't expect the bell to ring 3 times. You have to wait till 3. So I think that the universe is saying that you're going to continue to build more and grow and evolve as time passes, but it's about finding satisfaction with where you're at in the moment and trust that you'll continue to grow and flourish and be nourished by the universe. This is a really, really beautiful energy, and I feel like the universe is just really proud of you and proud of how much change you've already cultivated. And I think that this month you're going to be inspired to make even more change, because you're going to see how this change can affect you positively and how this change is propelling you towards the most aligned and at peace version of yourself possible. So let's go ahead and see what in your external environment you need to be aware of in the month of July that you can't necessarily control. So we have the Channeler, Collective, Mission, Understanding. And we have the Painting, 9 of Swords. Okay, so this is actually a very specific message. And I think it's gonna play. I think it's gonna make sense. Let me just channel it and then we'll see. I wish you could understand what it's like in my brain and what I'm experiencing, because words just can't do it justice. But anyway, I think you might find that this upcoming month, you may not resonate with general readings very much, especially if you enjoy watching them, or you may find that you are picking up on anxiety that's not your own. With the 9 of Swords here, I feel like you're going to be doing better than a lot of the people around you, in the sense that you're letting go of control, you're releasing things. But I feel like there's a lot of people in your life or in your surroundings that maybe live from a very fear-based place, and their collective understanding may be less evolved than yours is this month. And so you might find that you feel a lot of disconnect with them. Like you may want to help them or show them a different way, even though you can't really paint them a picture of your own experiences. So there may need to be an awareness that even though you're connected and within the collective, that the collective may at times have shifts that you don't experience because you're just in your own place. And I do think that the collective may have an energy of fear or anxiety this upcoming month, and I think that you may be affected by that collective energy. So if you find yourself getting really overwhelmed or anxious and you don't know why, I would really ask yourself if it's yours, and if it's not, to return it to the sender. But I also think you might be feeling guilt this month. Like you might be seeing other people suffering or really having a hard time, and you want to help them, but you don't know how. And I feel like I need to tell you that it's not your place to help them, first of all. I feel like you're going to be seeing other people in the same situation you were just in, and you're going to want to tell them, hey, there's another way. But if I'm being honest, you might just be falling on deaf ears, because anxious thoughts are the biggest barrier to healing and hearing our heart and soul. And so I feel like the universe just wants you to know that it's not your job to fix or help other people with their own issues. You just have to worry about you and trust that if you could figure it out, so can they. And it's not your job to help other people along on their journey. But I do think that you may be affected by the collective unconscious. Collective unconscious. I hope I said that right. You may be affected by it, so you want to be aware of when you're in a state of heightened anxiety or when you're feeling really overwhelmed and there's no logical reason as to why that could be. More often than not, you might find you're picking up on other people's worries. You may also find that as you release a lot of this fear, or as you release a lot of this desire to control, there may be people around you that are weirded out by how calm you are and may almost try to get you in a state where you kind of match them in fear. And so I think the universe is really encouraging you not to feed into that and not to play into that, and to maintain your own frequency, maintain your own understanding of things, and recognize that you don't have to be affected by the same energies that other people are. So we're going to go ahead and get into your charms now, where we're just going to see if there's any extra messages, any signs, letters, syncs, synchronicities that are significant to you. I'm about to shake this, and it is going to be very loud. So if you have headphones in or the volume's up really high, I would encourage you to turn it down, because I'm going to shake this in 3, 2, 1. And for transparency's sake, my eyes are closed. Okay, so next month for pile 2. Spirit, what charms are relevant for pile 2 in this upcoming month, please? Okay, we had quite a few pop out over here. Those, and then let's see. Okay. All right. Oh, wait, we got one more. And I don't know what that is, so I'm throwing it away. Okay. So, I want to start with not my circus, not my monkeys, and it is what it is. So this kind of just reiterates exactly what I was telling you, that it's not your job to deal with other people's chaos and other people's stress. And if they try to drag you into it, especially if you consider yourself to be the mom friend, I feel like Spirit is really encouraging you not to allow other people to pull you into their own drama, to recognize that if you're able to, like, it is not your job to help or fix other people. It is only your job to work on yourself and worry about yourself. And not only that, you don't need to even empathize with those people or grieve with those people. You know, suffering is a human thing. And if it's going to take all your energy to empathize with them, I think Spirit is saying conserve your energy first. If you don't know how to hold space for someone without taking on their own feelings, then you don't need to be around them in a heightened emotional state until you can do that, because it's just too draining otherwise. But we also have the salty charm. So I do feel like there might be people that are upset that you are not. There might be people that are jealous that you're making changes in your life towards what you want to do. There might be people that are salty that you're not spending as much time with them as they'd like, or that you seem to be overcoming certain issues. And just know that that's a shadow within them. But you may also find yourself being a bit salty when you realize maybe how poorly you were treated at your workplace, or how long you endured the behavior that you experienced there. Let's see, we also have the teardrop. So I do feel like release is huge here. You might find yourself this month crying for like no reason, or having emotions for no reason. Don't freak out when that happens. That's just your body, like, literally just releasing pent-up energy that could have been from days ago or decades ago. Just trust that if that happens, there was something that needed to be released. We also have the cat here. So I definitely think that cats could be a significant sign for you, as well as ants. But with the cat here as well, I feel like the universe is reminding you to know your worth and trust your intuition. Don't just go along with the crowd, especially this month. We also have this little yellow charm here, which always makes me think of the solar plexus. So I think you're gaining a lot more confidence to march to the beat of your own drum and to trust your own gut this month. I also think that you may be trusting the wisdom of the universe more, and not allowing the way other people think, allowing other people's fear-based mindsets to get in your way of having a good time and having a nice day, or just being present. We also have this little seashell here. So once again, I feel like your intuition is improving this month. I feel like you're going to be very intuitive. Some of you may be going to the beach, which is super fun. Or you may find clarity or peace by water. I also feel like this is an encouragement to come out of your shell when it comes to embracing who you are and embodying who you are. You know, you don't need to dim to fit in. Like, I feel like that's something that you've been doing because other people might be salty when they see your light. And I think Spirit's really encouraging you not to do that this month, and to really embrace your intuition, embrace who you're becoming. We also have this bushel of wheat, which makes me think of abundance. And so I think the universe is really confirming to you that whatever moves you're making are leading you to more abundance, and to trust that it's coming in the future. You may not necessarily see it this month, but the seeds are being planted, and that is happening. Let's see. We also have road tripper. Yeah, so you might be going on a road trip this month. I wonder if there's any specific messages with that. Doesn't really seem like it. Someone may be traveling your way. For some of you, this Queen of Pentacles and the unknown, a family member might drop in on you randomly. So I hope I'm wrong. Unless that's a delightful thing, then I hope I'm right. But for those of you who the last thing you want is a family member randomly dropping in on you, that may be just a message for some of you. But with the road tripper card here, if you've been feeling like you need to take a road trip or take a little journey, I think you're being encouraged to do that, especially if it's near water, whether it's a lake, a river, an ocean, whatever it is. I feel like you're really being encouraged to be near water, especially because we have the bottle charm with the green paper in it, because this means that you've definitely been bottling up emotions. Same with that shell. So I think you're really being encouraged to be honest with your emotions and release them in a healthy way, whatever that may be for yourself. So just be aware of that, especially when you find yourself feeling things that may not be yours, because you may find that bottled up emotions from your past are being released, but you may also find yourself feeling emotions that you can't quite understand. And those are the ones you really want to look at and address, because they're highly likely not yours. But with the squirrel card here, I definitely think you're going to be pretty busy this month, and you're definitely planting seeds for what is next to come for you. We also have the moon. So Pisces or Cancer energy could be significant. We also have the mermaid scale, so more Pisces energy could be significant. This is just another sign to follow your intuition and to trust yourself moving forward, because your own intuition will not lead you astray. We also have, what is this? We have the purple charm. So I definitely think there are upgrades in terms of your third eye and your crown chakra that you want to be aware of as well. I think those are opening more, and you're going to be more receptive to signs and synchronicities. And as a result, I think you're going to feel more confident to follow your gut, because you're going to know that the signs and the guidance that you're getting is coming from an unconditionally loving source greater than yourself. Let's see what else we have. We have to the moon and back. So I'm going to kind of just leave that one as it is, and leave that up to your own interpretation. I feel like Spirit was calling me to do that, so I'm just going to let that happen. We also have a number 8, so August could be significant. July 8th could be significant. Leo energy could be significant, but 8 is also an energy of abundance, so be aware of that as well. We also have number 1, so maybe July 18th, or 1981, or August 1st could be significant. January 8th could be significant. But let's see what letters we have. So we have B, A, Batman could be significant, because we also have, at least I thought we had a T. Yeah, we have a T and a V, so things on TV could be important. TVM or VT, MTV! Maybe there's something on MTV that's significant, or MTV could be significant in some way. Or ATVs could be significant. Just be safe, wear a helmet. Let's see, what letter is this? We also have C. So MAC makes me think of Mac, like it's always sunny. In Philadelphia, it might be a show. If there's any shows you've been feeling called to watch, there might be signs in there for you. Oh, and we also have a 5. So August 15th, July 15th, July 58th. That'd be funny. That's not a real day. But 815, 518, 158, 851, those could be significant as well. And finally, we have the little diamond here. So I feel like this is the universe reminding you that diamonds are formed under pressure, but to remember how precious you are. And finally, we have this little robot. And so I think that this month you're going to be realizing what programs that you've been running in your own brain that are not working anymore, like the hyper focus on our shitty job situation program or whatever it may be. I feel like you're overcoming a lot of mental limitations by going within and really connecting to the universe, whether you're meditating more, just going on walks by yourself, or whatever you do that essentially really helps you zoom out of yourself. I think that you're doing a lot of that this month. So those are the charms. Let's go ahead now and finish off with your advice. So to start, we have, I'm getting all the flowers that I just can't pronounce. Coreopsis. And it says, always joyful. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of the year. Yeah, I think you're really learning how to have like how to find joy in the present even when you're dissatisfied, because guess what, you're always going to be dissatisfied with something in your life. Nothing is ever perfect, and finding joy in the moment is what will help you from not feeling like you were robbed when you're nostalgic in the future for a time that you didn't appreciate in the present. We also have find a gentle touch and ease in all that you do at the moment. Allowing things to flow naturally will get you closer to your desires than trying to force something. Less resistance equals greater output. Yeah, so, and think about it like electricity. Electricity always takes the path of least resistance. And I think that that's what the universe is really encouraging you to do. Life shouldn't have to be so hard. And if you're working under someone who believes that you should work yourself to the bone in order to be successful, I don't think that that's someone you should be following. But yeah, that pretty much summarizes everything that I was saying. But we also have shine from within. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty shines from within, and it's time for you to shine. This is a time for self-acceptance and for revealing your true inner beauty. We also have surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And finally, we have my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. So if you want to stay in alignment, look at your capacity to align with the love of the universe. So, and I love that this is literally like the same card, same color as the ant card, because I feel like before you were trying to align with the fear of being without, or the fear of not being safe, or the fear of not having your needs met. And the universe is instead trying to redirect you to the fact that you are safe, and your true safety lies in your capacity to align in the love of the universe, not in the fear that other people are trying to impose upon you in our society. So, pile 2. I think that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background while you do whatever. That is the simplest and easiest way to exchange energy with me and support me and my channel. But if you'd like to support me and my channel in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my merch, which is linked below, as well as my social media, though do be aware that I have tons of scammers pretending to be me. So just know I do not offer personal readings, and I will not try to solicit a reading from you via your DMs, because I can barely text my friends back and I don't offer personal readings. So that's all I have. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night or wonderful July. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you all will come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Afghanite stone and this deck of oracle cards, this is going to be your reading on what is happening in July 2022. So we're going to go ahead and start with a general overview by looking at these cards. So to start, we have the otter. That's so cute. We also have synchronicity. We also have alien planet, make yourself at home, adaptability, change, originality. We also have healing through rest. And finally, we have 999. Thank the past for your lessons and leave it where it belongs so you can make the best of the life that is still waiting to be fulfilled by only you. I am unique. And considering I burped while reading that, I definitely think you are releasing. So I love this energy. I'm so excited by this, pile 3. This is really, really awesome energy. And honestly, there's no otter pile that I think just make me feel this giddy or make so many puns, but I'm gonna try not to make so many puns. We're just gonna get into it now. So, okay. This month is a month of necessary changes, but changes that I think you are going to realize make your life easier, not harder. But you may have been resisting these changes under the perception that changing your habits or making these changes is more difficult than it really is. I almost feel like maybe you've been committed to a certain chaos or a chaotic way of going about things that just doesn't really serve you. No matter what the case is, this upcoming month is an important time for new beginnings. You're shifting into a general new beginning. I mean, we have Thank the Past for your lessons, and 999, which means you're clearing the end of a cycle. And we, with 64 reducing to 10 in numerology, 10 in numerology reducing to 1, I definitely think that you are starting a fresh cycle soon, and you're kind of in that transition period where you're closing out old chapters and getting yourself ready to start this new one. And the beautiful thing about it is that this new chapter in your life, it's not all work. There's a lot of play involved, and there's a lot of self-care involved. The fact that we have healing through rest and we have otter, I think that some of the changes that you're making moving forward is to cultivate more time for fun, for play, to connect with your inner child, and to also prioritize your rest and your time to literally rest. I don't know what other synonym I was looking for. But I think that maybe you had a hard time doing that in the past because maybe you were ashamed by people, or maybe, you just really adapted to this lifestyle that we have of being productive 24/7, and it was hard to find your worth outside of being productive. But I feel like this month you're actually putting an effort to tailor your lifestyle to your unique needs. Also, the name Taylor could be significant. I don't know why. Maybe you have a tailor named Taylor. But it almost kind of is like getting clothes tailored, There are standard things that can work for people, but I think you're realizing that you're a unique person with unique needs, and the way in which you meet those needs may not look like what the typical person's schedule is, or may not look like how other people do it, and that's okay. I feel like it's a huge leap for you to do things on your own accord and do things your own way, because I feel like you've probably been shamed and put down for most of your life for trying to do things your own way. And so I think that you're learning to heal your relationship when it comes to you being yourself, and learning to recognize that your needs are just as valid, and the fact that you have needs outside of just making money, that you have. I think you're realizing that your life will not be fulfilling if you're just chasing, that next goal, or just chasing what you believe you should be following. I think you're going to be really rewarded this month when you balance your productivity and your practical side with this side of you that wants to play, that wants to rest, that just wants to unapologetically be. And I think you're going to realize that component, integrating that component, is going to make it so much easier for you to be productive in the future, because you're not going to be running on empty. You're actually going to be fulfilled in other ways, so it's going to be easier to dedicate time to your productivity. I feel like you're probably going to procrastinate less, and not only that, I think you're going to get a lot of encouragement from the universe to continue resting, to continue playing, to continue doing things that those stupid what are they, $1 billion man accounts on Instagram say in their stupid posts. They're like, you gotta hustle and grind every day, or no sweat, no tears, no pussy, like, I don't know, whatever the stupid shit that they say is. It's like, you gotta grind hard, bro, all the time, you're running faster than everyone on the couch, dude, like, you just gotta do it. And it's like, all right, well, that's an excellent way to make us burn out and perpetuate a toxic level of workaholism. Not cool. So I think you're seeing through a lot of that and recognizing that all work and no play makes a very drained and unhappy pile 3. I think, however, a pile 3 with play and work and the opportunity to explore and rest will make it for a very, very happy pile 3. Not only that, the fact that we have 2 otters here, I feel like you're going to be balancing your light and shadow sides this month. Like you're going to be seeing parts of yourself that maybe you want to come forward, and you're going to be seeing parts of yourself that maybe you were neglecting because you were too tired or you were too busy to even address healing them. But I also think you're realizing just how you're going to realize how hard you've been on yourself this month. Maybe you've realized that a bit in the past, but with this alien planet card, I think you're not really realizing that you are essentially on an alien planet. I mean, even though you are most likely a human watching this, I mean, if you are an alien, like, hit me up in my DMs. I'm just curious. I want to hear about your life. But, like, you're likely a human who just feels alien and probably has a hard time fitting in or following the schedules of most people, or I keep wanting to say neurotypical. So a lot of you could be neurodivergent. Shout out to my neurodivergent baddies. I am also one. Shout out to the ADHDers out there. But you may be realizing that you've been way too hard on yourself because maybe you growing up, you were a fish being judged on its ability to climb a tree. And I think you're realizing, oh, I'm an otter. I need to do otter shit. I can't be successful if people are putting me under the parameters of what a giraffe should be doing, you know? I think you're realizing that you do have unique needs and that your needs are different from the collective, and that doesn't make you any less valid. And in fact, I think one thing you might realize is just how burnt out and exhausted the people are around you. And the more time you dedicate to yourself and to balancing your routine this month, I think the more you're going to realize that you can make this planet a lot more livable and make life a lot easier for yourself when you're living based on what you need and what is going to set you up for success, rather than what you should be doing or how you think you need to behave in order to get approval from others. So I think this month is just a lot of change for you in the sense that you're freeing yourself from what you've held yourself back from. That seems to be kind of a theme in all the piles, is like we're letting go of things that aren't serving us. But for this pile specifically, I feel like you are learning how to adapt to the person that you're becoming and how to not shame yourself for doing things differently than most, or for doing things that aren't gonna give you money, or that aren't gonna, you know, lead to a direct result other than your own happiness and enjoyment. I think you're healing your relationship with your inner child. And I also think that while you're resting and playing, either in your dreams or while you're outside or doing fun things, you know, the universe is going to be playing with you in the sense that it's going to be sending you messages. It's going to be sending you synchronicities. So you might be seeing 999, 444, seeing lots of different synchronicities. You might be seeing otters. You might be seeing feathers. Whatever it may be, I think you're going to be realizing that you're on the right path and that you're being supported. And I think one of the most beautiful things here is that you're going to realize that you weren't made wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that, and I will say this, it is no measure of accomplishment to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. So do not feel bad for struggling to succeed and adapt well to the way that normal society is. Because honestly, I don't even think normal society adapts well to how normal society is. We just collectively decide to suffer because change is hard. But for you, on an individual level, it's very possible. And I think you're going to be realizing this month just how much you matter, and just how much more you can do when you're actually properly being supported. It's literally like, if you, I don't know, I can't even think of a good metaphor, but essentially this month you are learning how to integrate more parts of yourself and let go of what isn't working, and that is leading you to more healing. It's leading you to have more fun. It's leading you to feel more comfortable in your own skin, in your own environment. I think you're really being encouraged to decorate or do things with your space if you can. But this is all about recognizing that you're allowed to take up space, that you are valid, and it is not your fault that society has failed you. But it is your job to fulfill your own needs or seek out people or services that can fulfill those needs so that you can be the most successful version of yourself possible. So I think that's what you're doing this month. You're resting, you're playing, and you are learning how to make life more you. Make life more catered to who you are and your needs and things of that nature. So I love this. I love this energy. And I think as well, you might find that you have people like friends or things like that that you love playing with or you love connecting with. And I think that's going to make things more fun. And I also think that what you're going to realize is just how much you deserve to make these changes, and you deserve to thrive in an environment and thrive in general. How much you deserve to thrive, and how much you deserve to feel safe in your environment, how much you deserve to take up space, how much you deserve to be yourself. There's so many beautiful things about you as a human and about, you know, your little idiosyncrasies. I think I'm saying that wrong. Synchronicities and idiosyncrasies. Those are it's too close. It's getting me all jumbled up. I think it's idiosyncrasy, right? Anyway, like you can respond. Anyway, I think you're learning to embrace yourself and your uniqueness and support that uniqueness rather than trying to continue to force yourself to conform to a society that just doesn't serve your growth and just doesn't serve the person that you are. So let's go ahead now and go a bit deeper and look at different areas of your life. This one a good shuffle. Okay. So, Spirit, what can pile 3 expect this upcoming month in terms of their relationships, please? Okay. And then what about pile 3's work life? Okay. Pile 3's personal development. Finally, pile 3's environment. What will be in their environment? Okay. We've got those, and then I am using the Hide Tarot, is that what it's called? Yeah, the Hide Tarot. My lovely friend Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111 gave me this deck, and I love it so far, so I hope you like it too. I also, while we're here quickly, wanted to wish, no, that was such a bad shuffle. I wanted to wish my July Cancers and Leos a very, very happy birthday. I hope that you have an amazing month and an amazing birthday, and I hope that your life is great. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, Spirit, what can pile 4 expect in this upcoming month when it comes to their relationships, please? Okay. And what can pile 3 expect when it comes to their work, career, school life, whatever it is that you do? What about their personal development? What about their environment? Okay, so to start, we have relationships. This includes friends, family, love, all of it. So we have perspective, clarity, mindset, logic, and we have the cocoon with the 2 of Wands. So this is really interesting. I definitely think that you're going to be more introverted in the upcoming month, but not in the sense of shutting everyone out like a hermit mode. I definitely feel like you're maybe taking a temporary pause from a lot of connections. As you notice, 27 also reduces to 9 in numerology. But I think that you're taking a little bit of time away, if I can stop burping, to see what connections in your life still align. I also think that this is a month where you're gaining perspective about past relationships and about why you attracted certain people in your life to begin with. Like what wounds did they trigger? What things did they teach you? Things like that. This is a very specific message, but I feel called to say it, so don't take it if it's not yours. But with the Two of Wands here, if you do resonate with the perspective of, or do resonate with being in a twin connection, I do think a lot of the things that you may be learning this month will bring you clarity and help shift your mindset when it comes to that connection. I feel like especially if you're not communicating with them, or you're in separation, or you're just kind of removed from them, I do feel like you are going to be learning from your experiences. But I also think as well, you may be reserving your energy for relationships to only the closest people in your life. So like your closest friends, your partner if you have one, your family. And I feel like you really are taking the time to kind of just reassess what kind of energy you want in your life, who are the types of people you want in your life, because I do think that you may decide to leave certain people in your past, or may decide that certain friendships have run their course, or certain relationships have run their course, but maybe you don't know how to go about things, or you may just kind of decide to slowly distance yourself from people. I feel like you're kind of in this stage of like, you know, the Two of Wands is kind of like a planning energy. And I feel like in terms of your connections, you're going to be gaining clarity on what sort of connections energize you and fulfill you, and what sort of connections drain you and hold you back. I also think that the more you continue cultivating that energy of self and taking care of yourself, I think you're going to get, for those of you that resonate with being a twin, I think you're going to get a lot of clarity about maybe certain wounds or shadows that you may have been projecting onto the other person. You may also get a little bit of telepathic communication from them, but I also think that this huge shift is just extending to your relationships, where you're recognizing that, as you know, because obviously when a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, it doesn't come back out a caterpillar, it comes back out a butterfly. And so I think you're kind of going within and recognizing that maybe not everyone is meant to come with you on this journey, and who do you want to give your time and energy to, or if it not specifically who, what types of people. What types of people make you feel uplifted? What types of people make you feel drained? Like everything. You're really being called to go within so that you can make concrete decisions that you feel safe in. Because I feel like it's harder for you to, I think you're the type of person that always sees the good in people, and so you may not see, when they're in front of you, you may not see how they affect you. And so I think it's really important whenever you hang out with someone this month to take time to reflect after you're with them. How do you feel afterwards? Do you feel supported? Do you feel judged? Do you feel drained? Do you feel happy? Like whatever it is, how you feel about people or how you feel after interacting with someone is a great indicator of how aligned they are with your life. And I think that instead of looking at it as cutting people out of your life or something like that, just recognize it as being at different places. You know, you don't even need to cut people out, but maybe creating more boundaries or more distance. Whatever it is, I feel like if there have been connections that you've been confused about or unsure of what to do, you're gaining clarity about them in this month. So let's go ahead and look at your work or career life now. Ooh, we have vision, higher consciousness, insight, guidance. So the owl could also be significant. And we have the beetle. with the 10 of Wands. So I definitely see that this month you're going to be getting a lot of creative inspiration and downloads when it comes to your work. Now, if you're self-employed or something like that, one thing that I'm seeing is that you may be getting a lot of ideas, but some of them may be more work than it's worth, or some of them may be a pretty hefty undertaking. So you're being encouraged to plan and to also have realistic goals so that you can actually accomplish what you put your mind to, rather than getting overwhelmed and giving up. But I definitely think the divine is going to be giving you a lot of inspiration in the upcoming month. And the challenge might be, you know, making things just like your vision, or making things as good as your vision, or I just heard like writer's block and things like that. So for some of you, you may find that like you have all the inspiration, but you don't know how to translate it into words or into action. Or you may just be very busy with work because actually, this is funny. With the 10 of Wands being here, because you're dedicating more time to resting and playing, you might actually feel burdened by the fact that you can't work more than you'd like to. But I think it's actually, as well, and/or, because you're spending time resting and playing and just kind of doing you're going to realize how much more productive you can be and how much more fun working or whatever it is that you're doing will be, because you're not constantly being burdened by what you need to do next. I feel like, you know, the 10 of Wands is typically a card of like exhaustion, burnout, having too much on your plate, things like that. And I think that you're realizing now that you're balancing your personal time with your work time and things like that, it's making space for you to have more creative inspiration and take more inspired action in your career, rather than just constantly scrambling to get something done or scrambling on to the next thing. It literally seems like, you know, instead of being like a busy beetle hurrying around trying to get things done all the time, on to the next, when you're taking time to slow down, I think you realize, wow, I have so much more energy and motivation towards my career right now because I have all this inspiration coming to me. I have all these visions coming to me. I think the biggest thing though is that some of them might be loftier goals and goals that take a lot of time and energy. So you're really being encouraged not to burn yourself out or overwhelm yourself. Pace things out. Don't hold yourself to unrealistic timelines. Don't overestimate or don't underestimate how much you can do. Over or under, I can't even remember. In the sense that, like, if you think something will take you 3 hours, give yourself 5 just in case. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're really just being encouraged to not bite off more than you can chew and to ask for help when you need it, especially if you have other people working with you. But let's see what's happening with your personal development. So we have the earth element, body, belongings, midheaven. And we have the egg with the 10 of swords. So this is literally rebirth. This is rebirth incarnated. So I think that you are literally breaking out of your shell, breaking out of what's been holding you back. And I think you're grounding this new version of yourself onto this 3D reality. I think you are recognizing that you belong here, that the world is also your oyster, that you can cultivate as much abundance as you'd like. I think that you are learning to ground yourself into your own body. You're learning to be more connected to your surroundings. And I think because you are becoming more grounded, it's giving more room for visions and divine inspiration to come in. As with the 10 of swords here, the 10 of swords always talks about an ending, which we have 2 10s and 999. Like, there's so many things indicative of change and endings. And I think that one of the things that is ending for you is this negative self-talk, or this unrealistic expectation of all you have to accomplish or everything that you have to be. And I think you're realizing that your way of going about things in the past, you know, was never going to be very helpful. But now I think you're grounding this new, more balanced, more compassionate towards yourself, version of yourself into reality. And that's what's heading you towards your destiny with midheaven here. I think that this is helping you gain more confidence in yourself, feeling stronger in your body, feeling more grounded. And I think as well, this is like a new fresh beginning where you're feeling like not only can you have these powerful ethereal experiences, but you can ground these ethereal experiences into reality and really create this conscious connection between earth and spirit and yourself. This is really beautiful. And with 4, I think you're cultivating a very stable foundation for yourself, built on your needs and not built on shame or what you should be doing. It's like you're literally ending the problematic habits that stop you from being nourished. So this is a really beautiful energy. And I think in general, you might clean your place out, or you might start focusing more on exercise or being more grounded in your body, things like that. But I think more than anything, you're just feeling more connected to your body, feeling more connected to the physical realm. And I think you're actually seeing the changes that you want to implement in the material realm this month. And you're actually doing what you know. Knowing isn't doing. Those are two different things. So you're taking your knowing and putting it into doing. So the last part we want to look at is what is in your external environment that's outside of your control this upcoming month that Spirit wants you to be aware of. So to start, we have the Alchemist, Metamorphosis, Depth, Endurance. And we have the Monkey, 7 of Cups. This is really interesting. I'm going to take a sip of my water while I look at this. Okay. So interestingly enough, I do think this Alchemist represents you, but the energy outside of you is the 7 of Cups. So what Spirit is really saying is going to happen this month, because you really match this definition of the Alchemist: metamorphosis, depth, endurance. This is Scorpio energy. You know, this is deep, deep transformation. But with this Monkey card here, this is the 7 of Cups. I definitely think that you're not seeing the full picture yet in terms of where you're headed or what's next. You're not seeing your full transformation. And I think that there's a lot of purpose for that. I think that the universe is kind of intentionally clouding you right now, not because you're being punished or something like that, but because you're kind of meant to explore your options right now, or just explore this new way of being before you start really intentionally cultivating what you want. Because, and this is actually an interesting thing to talk about, manifesting, for example. Me personally, I don't really manifest specific things. I try to manifest feelings, like I want to feel happy or I want to feel loved or whatever. But more often than not, I kind of allow the universe to manifest what it wants through me, because I know whatever it wants is also in my highest good, and it's better for me than I think I know what I want. And so the universe is kind of doing this to you in the sense that you're very powerful and you can cultivate whatever you want. But if you change too quickly, or if you transform too quickly, you might be manifesting something that you realize you don't want anymore, or you might be trying to cultivate something that you don't want. And also, I did want to say, like, I'm not knocking anyone and intentionally manifesting whatever they want to experience. You can do whatever you want. I just, for me personally, prefer to do that because it's ultimately, I think, the quickest way to getting what I want, because truthfully, a lot of times I don't know what I want, and I trust that the universe knows what I not only want, but need. So I think in your case, part of your transformation is to learn to enjoy the process, and to also figure out what is going to make you most fulfilled, and also how to lean into the unknown, in the sense that you might see, and actually this is important as well, you might see other people, you know, achieving really cool things, or even talking about how I manifested this or how I did that. And I think the universe is asking you not to get too caught up in other people's methods, and to trust that if you're not seeing clearly about what is meant to happen next, or if you're not seeing clearly about what's further along on your journey, there's a reason for that. I think you're really being encouraged to explore your options, explore what's available to you, and explore what works and what doesn't. And it's through this exploration that you'll get further along in your transformative journey. But I also think that this kind of relates to the fact that there will be people that are confused by your transformation. I was just thinking about the fact that sometimes monkeys throw their poop. And I feel like there might be people that are very confused by your transformation and confused by the person that you're becoming. So if you deal with negative reactions from others, just know that it's coming from a place of ignorance, not a place of malice. It may not hurt any less, but I think that what you need to know is that not everyone is going to be able to see your depth. Not everyone is going to be able to see the magnitude of your being, and that's simply because they can only meet you with where they're at. You know, if you're used to swimming in the deep end and you know, all the people you're dealing with have floaties on in the shallow end, they're not going to be able to meet you down there. You know what I mean? They got to learn to swim first. They got a lot of shit to do before then. And so I think that for you, it's learning how to embrace your transformation, embrace who you're becoming, without allowing the confusion of what's next to make you fear the transformation that's already occurring, and also to not let the ignorance of others stop you from enjoying and embracing who you're becoming, because you're meant to embrace who you're becoming. And anyone who acts badly towards you because of your transformation is just a great example of a person who you don't need in your life, point blank. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. So we're going to go ahead now and get into your charms. So we're just going to see what signs, synchronicities, symbols, messages the universe has for you for this upcoming month. I'm going to shake this and it's going to be very loud. So just be aware that if you're wearing headphones or if the volume's up really loud, that this might be really loud. So you may want to turn it down. And I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and for transparency's sake, my eyes are now closed. So, pile 3, Spirit, July 2022. It's weird, they're sliding on the cards. What is happening for them in July 2022? Okay, let's see, do we have anything else? Yes, we do. Beep. Okay, one big thing that I'm seeing right away is you have a lot of clarity coming. We have this clear charm here, and we have this piece of clear quartz. So I definitely think that you're going to be seeing the point, get it, of certain things that had to happen in your life, certain lessons that you learned. But I also think that you're getting to the root of a lot of things, like the root of why you don't like to take care of yourself, or the root of why you feel shame in meeting your needs, the root of why someone maybe doesn't make you feel too great or someone makes you feel really great. It's you're just seeing things a lot more clearly than you have in the past, and I think it's bringing about a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunity for you to recognize how much projection and analysis is not yours and is not valid. I hope that makes sense. We also have the frog. So I definitely think that this month you're also going to be seeing things for what they are, in the sense of, like, obviously I think of frogs as healing, so I do think that healing is occurring, but you know, obviously with frogs I also think of like Prince and the Frog and things like that, and there's that quote of like, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you meet a prince, and I'm kind of thinking of this in a metaphorical sense of like, I think once you start making habits and taking action that's aligned with what's supportive of your needs, you're gonna realize how silly and foolish it was to continue to try to force yourself to act in ways that other people do just because it's normal and just because you think it's what you should do. You're gonna realize how like malnourished or how undercared for you were. I don't even know if there's a good word, but we also have the moon card, the moon charm here. So Pisces or Cancer energy could be significant. I always see this as like an encouragement to follow your intuition, to follow what your gut is telling you. But I also think that things that have been confusing, you will be finding clarity on. And I also think that this is just a sign, you know, the half crescent moon just makes me think of the high priestess. And I think that your intuition is heightening. I think that you are getting more spiritual gifts this month. We also have the 4-leaf clover. So I do think that this month is particularly lucky. So if you are, for example, maybe wanting to, it's like little stuff. Like if, let's say one day you're going shopping for a particular pair of shoes and that day the shoe store is having a great sale on those types of shoes or something like that. It just kind of seems like things are going to be flowing a bit easier this month. Things are going to be working in your favor. And yeah, Irish heritage, or you could be from Ireland, or Ireland could be significant in some way. We also have the crown, which to me, I always think of the crown chakra. So I think clarity is coming to your crown chakra in general, but I also think you're recognizing your own divinity and how much you deserve to take care of yourself, and how much maybe you were neglecting yourself in the past. I know I've already said that, but I think you're just recognizing your worth and recognizing that you deserve more, and that in order to get more, you have to be the one to really set that standard and show up for yourself to be more. But we also have a little teardrop here. So I do think there could be some emotional release in the month of July, like maybe just realizations of how much you've been neglecting yourself, or realizations of, you know, just how messed up past treatment towards you was. You may find that you're just going about your day and you randomly start crying, and that's okay. That's often just a sign that your body is just literally getting rid of pent up energy that doesn't need to be there any longer. So you could be crying and have no idea why, and that's absolutely okay. It's just a sign your body's releasing something. It's totally normal. It's totally fine. We also have the teacup here. So you could be, this might be an encouragement to maybe pay attention to your caffeine intake, or if you're looking for like you might be encouraged to drink more tea this month, as opposed to like coffee or something like that. But also with the tea thing here, you might be getting interesting news about someone else, or just getting interesting news about someone in your circle. I don't know what that would be. I'm kind of take that tea charm as it resonates. But if you get any messages from that tea charm that I didn't, I would take those. And that goes for anything, actually. Like if you ever see a card or a sign or something and I don't interpret it in a way that you're interpreting it, that doesn't make your or my interpretation invalid. It just, I would take your interpretation first, what resonates with you. And then if mine resonates as well, you can also take that, or whatever. But trust what you get from these cards and stuff and charms, please, because you're incredibly intuitive. We're all intuitive. We also have the electric guitar. That's interesting because an acoustic guitar came out in pile 1. But I mean, the first thing here is to pay attention to music, maybe especially rock music, or I was thinking honestly like 80s music, like 70s or 80s music. Anyway, there could be like specific messages in music you want to be aware of. If you've been feeling called to learn an instrument, I feel like this is your sign to maybe do that, or to get back into an instrument. I think music could be very healing, but I also think just to pay attention to music in general, because there could be messages there. We also have the butterfly, which I love because we were talking about butterflies earlier. So I definitely think that I love that it came face down too, because I really think that you're not fully transformed, but you're already in the process of transformation. And what I love about the butterfly being green is that I really feel like this transformation is allowing you to live from your heart center in a way that you weren't able to before. Like, you couldn't just say, well, I love myself, so I'm going to let myself rest, because your fear and your logical mind of you saying, no, you need to work. Like, what if you, like, well, you know what I mean? I think that you're going to be giving more room and freedom to your heart space to tell you what it needs, or to help. And I just also think as well, you're going to be leading with love more often than you have in the past. I just think it's really beautiful. Let's see. We also have match. So I do think that you could be feeling sparks of inspiration, but I also think that if you resonate with the twin thing, because it came face down, I feel like not a whole lot could be happening in the physical, or you may be constantly reminded of this person. Although they could interact with you this month, they could reach out to you, or maybe sparks are flying this month. If you don't resonate with being a twin or something like that, you could be meeting someone who is a potential match, or for some of you, this message, this match could be a sign that the transformations that you're going through right now are aligning you to meet a match that's really aligned with you. But I got distracted because I was going to light this, before I started this reading, I was going to light this candle with a match, just because the wick is so low and it's harder to light with a Bic lighter when it's really deep like that. But I couldn't find the matchbox anywhere. And just having this match out with no matchbox, I don't know. Maybe there's some synchronicity there. Like, maybe you are just a very unique individual, and it does feel weird being in this place because all of your homies in the matchbox are far away or something like that. But I feel like Spirit is saying there are people like you, and that you will meet them. And the more you follow the callings of your soul, you will meet them even more. But for those of you who have met in soul family and things like that, I feel like they might be really helpful this month in terms of helping you continue down your path. But let's go ahead now and look at letters and numbers. So we have AD. That always makes me think of, I love those Architectural Digest videos. Mainly just Dakota Johnson's, because she's like, I love limes. And then she's just lying the whole time. I think it's so funny. Let's see, what's this letter? Aha, we have bad. So you could be a spiritual baddie this month. That immediately made me think of like Michael Jackson's song Bad. Or you could be doing dabs, bro. I mean, obviously I am not encouraging that anything like that, but if you're already doing it. We also have Q, we have a P, and we have a B. So we have two B's. Ooh, you want to know a bop? The song is called BB, literally two B's, by Shy Girl. Really good song. But yeah, we have Q, D, A, P, B, B. So those are significant letters this month. And finally, we have the Virgo charm with practical. So a Virgo could be significant, or you could embody more Virgo energy. Whatever that may be for you, take it as it resonates. But those are your charms. So we are going to go ahead now and finish off by looking at your advice. So we already have these bad boys shuffled. So let's go ahead and start. We have Lily, Majesty and Virtue. The lily is the emblem rare of many virtues, good and rare. It doesn't rhyme, but okay. But I think what's really standing out is the rarity and the uniqueness. I feel like the universe is really encouraging you to embrace the unique person that you are and embrace the unique needs that you have, because I think that's going to inspire others to figure out what's going to work for them and to honor their own uniqueness. But I think that this month lilies could be a sign of could be a symbol for you, like that your guides are watching, and to remember just your beauty and your virtue and your heart and the rarity of you, and know that you are just a divine concoction of the most wonderful attributes possible, and some of them not so wonderful, but that's what makes us all human, and that's what makes us all great and divine. Let's see, we also have find the luxury in the small things and the big things in life. Allow yourself to feel proud of your accomplishment and successes and the abundance that follows. You are deserving of the rewards coming to you. Yeah, I definitely think that there are going to be a lot of rewards, and the more you can embrace receiving, I think the easier that's going to make your life. As I say that, surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. We also have, when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. This is literally exactly what you're doing this month. So I don't know if you need to screenshot this card or whatever, but literally when I merge my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Have faith, especially when it comes to implementing visions that you get. Don't rush your vision. Allow things to unfold in time. And finally, oh, this is so beautiful. We have life energy. The happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that need to be healed. So I definitely think there's a lot of resting, a lot of healing, a lot of growth, and a lot of joy to be had this month. And I think the best part is that you're setting yourself up for future success and figuring out what's going to work for you on a day-to-day basis so that you can be the most successful version of yourself possible now and in the future. And I love that for all of you. So pile 3, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for watching my ads or just letting them play in the background. That is the simplest and easiest way to support me and my channel and exchange energy with me. But if you would like to in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already and click that little bell notification to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can check out my merch, which is linked below, as well as my social media. Though do be aware, I have tons of scammers pretending to be me, especially on Instagram. So just know that I do not offer personal readings. I will not solicit a personal reading from you in your DMs. And if somebody does that and they're claiming to be me, they're a fucking scammer. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful month of July. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.